going to do another spool up test after $45 worth of repairs. This time we've got the training gear fashioned home built since it didn't come with any. Hopefully we'll keep it rotor side up this time. Make sure everything's where it needs to be. Let's give it a shot. Now you notice the tail rotor hasn't spooled up yet. It's waiting for the helicopter to get to a certain RPM, which I'm not going to let it do yet. I can activate it with the rudder if I want to. Right now it's a bit windy out, so I'm not going to try to take it up. I'm just doing spool up to make sure all the parts that we had to replace, which is basically from the swash plate up, did hold. Looks like everything's good. Very little vibration out of it, unlike the last time. It was horrible. See, we got the wind picking up, so I'm going to have to spool it down. Alright, let's go grab it. We'll actually do a high speed with it. Alright. I'm standing in the back of my truck, so we're going to do a high speed power up, see how it does. I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you like losing your fingers, but to each their own. See how it does here. And we are at full power. Very minimal control. You can feel this thing pulling. It really wants to let go on it. See if I can zoom in here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now, looks like all the parts held the way I wanted them to. You have to go in to charge the battery up, sounds like. Yeah, charge the battery up. We're going to go to high idle. Now it's pushing down. Downward thrust is pretty good on it. Actually has a lot more thrust going down. And power down. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend holding it by hand, but right now I just want to get a full power thrust, make sure everything's doing good. And that's the Axe CP after a rather horrific wreck that took out everything basically from here up. About $40+ to replace everything. If you need training gear, if you didn't have any, basically what I did here is I got cheap and went to Walmart, bought a bunch of those antenna balls, used dowel rods here, as you can see, zip tied them together here, 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 and here, electrical tape, make sure they were nice and sturdy, but they're still flexible enough to where it'll bounce a little bit and not totally spin you out of control. And then I zip tied it here, here to the skids. It's not perfect, it's not beautiful. Obviously my favorite one, Dodge, rock on. It's not the best setup, but it is within balance. Turn your rotor, which I can't do because I'm too close to the camera. And you hold it out, it's still within balance. So, you're good. And let's try to keep the rotor side up next time.